Hey everyone. So, as another year starts to wrap up, there's this weird mix of feelings in the air, right? A little bit of reflection, maybe some celebration, but for a lot of us, there's also this quiet, kind of heavy feeling. Today, we're going to talk about that feeling. We're going to offer up a little comfort, a different way of looking at this time of year. Let's just dive right in and face that feeling head on.
So let me just ask you straight up. Does this time of year feel heavy? Because if it does, I really want you to know you are not the only one. There's this huge unspoken pressure that just seems to build and build as we get to the end of the calendar.
And that's what this is all about, the pressure to be fine. It's this quiet expectation from everywhere and maybe even from ourselves that we're supposed to have it all figured out by now. That we need to wrap up the year with a nice positive bow and a neat little summary of all our achievements just because the page is about to turn.
But what if we just didn't? What if we admitted that some things are still a mess? And here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. You absolutely do not have to pretend everything is resolved. Some challenges, some heartaches, they take a lot longer than 12 months to heal. And that's not a failure. It's just life. It's being human.
You know, this leads us to something that is just so powerful. And it's a real act of kindness to yourself, giving yourself permission not to be okay. And this isn't about wallowing or anything like that. It's about honesty. It's about making space for how you actually feel without piling on any judgment or shame. We've all heard this phrase, right? It's okay not to be okay. And it might sound kind of simple, but honestly, it is one of the most compassionate and freeing things you can ever hear, especially when you're in the middle of a struggle. It's like someone throwing you a lifeline when you're just trying to tread water. So when we say it's okay, what does that really mean? Well, it means it doesn't demand that you get better overnight. It means it doesn't shame you for finding things hard. It just makes room for your pain to exist. And most importantly, it's telling you that you're worthy of care right now, exactly as you are, not some fixed version of you down the road.
Okay, and this brings us to a really critical point. Your struggle is yours. It is so easy to look at other people's lives and start minimizing what we're going through, but your experience is valid, full stop. It doesn't need to be measured against anyone else's.
We've all heard this one, right? Oh, everyone has their own problems. And sometimes it's said in a way that just makes you feel dismissed. But what if we reframed that? The deeper truth isn't that your pain doesn't matter. It's that none of us are alone in this. None of us are alone in hurting, even when it feels like we're the only one in the world. I want you to let this one really sink in for a second. There is no hierarchy of suffering. Your pain is real. Your pain is valid. The fact that someone else might be hurting, maybe even more in your mind, that doesn't cancel out your hurt. It doesn't make it less real. This is not a competition. And really, that's what it all boils down to. It's this simple and it's this profound. Your problems, your struggles, everything you're carrying, it all matters. And why? Because you matter. So let's try a little perspective shift here for a minute. Instead of focusing on all the things that aren't tied up in a neat bow, let's redefine what it even means to make it through a year. Let's talk about the incredible, quiet strength it takes just to survive. I want you to just take a breath and really hear this. With everything that happened, all the challenges you saw coming, and all the ones you didn't, you've made it through another year.
And you did it while carrying something heavy. For some of us, that weight is obvious to everyone. For others, it's completely invisible. But every single burden has weight, and you've been carrying yours.
And after all of it, after the weights and the struggle and the days you didn't think you could, you're still here. And that is not nothing. In fact, that's everything. That is a deep, quiet, powerful kind of strength. Just showing up one day, one breath at a time. That is more than enough. And you know, in that quiet strength of just getting through, that's where we find this final, really beautiful idea. You are not alone in this. Your very personal story of what you've endured, it connects you to a universal truth of what it means to be human. So as this year closes out, I want to leave you with a few reminders, or maybe permissions. You can feel whatever is true for you, whether that's sadness, exhaustion, or even those tiny little flickers of hope. You are not behind schedule. You are not broken. You're just here. And you deserve so much gentleness and so much rest.
And I'll leave you with this last thought. Brighter days don't always show up just because the calendar says they should. And until they do, you deserve gentleness, you deserve rest, and you deserve to have people who will just sit with you in the dark for a while without trying to rush you toward the light. Wishing you some softness and some peace as this year comes to an end.